All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Flog Friday, episode 4. We are officially into NFL preseason, and tonight's host is no other than our very own Rain Man, trade guru, owner of the stock hot sheets, and completely alone and unafraid of this year's rookie pool. Rain Man, take it away.
Hello, everybody. Tonight's subjects will be what's going on, current news, the Brandon Ayuk news, couple other things about DK Metcalf getting in a fight, some Olympic news, some players that are doing well in training camp, and anything else anybody else wants to talk about. So let's start off with the Brandon Ayuk news. And D-Rec, you're the Niner fan here, so you go ahead and start. What do you feel about what's going on?
Yeah, I think I would say that I felt like this might be the final outcome. Ayuk's been with us since we've been winners, and he wasn't with us when we were having the struggles a long time ago. And I think that he wants the money, but he's not willing to trade that to go to a losing team, like get the money and go to a losing team. I think what he's understanding is he can still get a fat payday. He might not be the highest paid wide receiver in the league, but he can get paid real well and be on a team where he has a chance to win a Super Bowl.
Yes. Anybody else? What do you think? I also think that I think he was using these other teams as leverage. I don't think he ever really wanted to be traded. And now the Niners called his bluff and he's kind of like, oops. So it's crazy. I was wrong about him. I thought he was all about money. And he's not. He's all about winning. It's crazy because if he was all about money, he would have taken that 32 million the Patriots offered and he would have went over there, but he doesn't want to play for them because he's worried about their quarterback situation apparently. So it's unusual to see a player that isn't just about, well, especially nowadays because injuries happen so much. It's unusual to see a player that isn't just about mainly money. I can't blame him, to be honest. So anybody else? Anything on it? Brandon Ayuk?
I think that he's not about the money, but he also wants to go to a winning team, even if it's not he wants to go to a contender. And I think Pittsburgh's always in they haven't gotten a losing season with Tomlin as their head coach. Like since he took over, he's never had a losing season. So I think it would be good for him with Russell Wilson or Justin Fields being the quarterback. It doesn't matter who it is between them two. I think he'll have a good day over in Steeler Nation, I don't, but I will repeat it, and I think that the best team for him to be in is the 49ers. If it's not
I
them,
agree.
then I would go to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I mean they win every single year with Tomlin. What about you, Hog Mollies? How do you feel?
I think a lot happened like in the background in the shadows that we weren't privy to, but I think his headspace was he wanted to just see what was out there, see what teams he could catch. Because I think he wanted to get paid. I think these players want to get paid, but he also wanted to win. And the teams that were throwing their name in the hat, he stepped back and he's like, yeah, either not enough or they're not good enough for me. And he decided to go with his best option that was left on the table, which was the Niners, because he still gets paid and he still has a chance to get that Super Bowl ring. So I think he was kind of surprised that other teams didn't come out of the woodwork and really try to court him and get him there. So he just sort of pulled back his line and said, "Okay, never mind. I'll just go back and try to save face and win something in 2024."
And I think, like, to be fair, the Niners, they kept a really good relationship with him still. You could see reports coming in about how, he was still hugging Kyle on the sidelines during practices and stuff and dapping it up with the homies and all that. Unlike the situation that's happening in Dallas with CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jones just coming out there and basically saying like his star wide receivers, like, he's not a priority to me.
Which
I
is
mean,
hilarious because who else is
Ah,
going to catch the ball there besides Ferguson?
I
nobody.
have no
Tolbert
idea.
sucks. Man. I think Jerry Jones doesn't mean to be a racist, but he is. I'm sorry. He's just a little he's a little out there sometimes.
I think I think he's incredibly entitled and selfish. And because of that, it drives a lot of his decisions. And he's not even self-aware how damaging they are to what could be a championship football team.
Yeah.
I think the 49ers have a much better culture and understanding of I bet you they told Ayuk, like, hey, you know what? We understand. Go out there, check things out. You always have a home here. We could use you. We're a winning team. We know what we're doing. You know the offense. We're going to pay you X amount of dollars. But yeah, go explore your options. No hard feelings if you come back or if you leave. We want what's best for
Yeah.
you, but we'll definitely take a player your caliber on our team. We have a deep bench, though. We're okay. Cowboys, if CD leaves,
They
I
are
don't know what
toast.
I don't know what they're going to do.
They
Like
don't even have a running back. Who the heck is their running back? Rico
I mean,
Dowdle?
if
Zeke.
it's literally Dak and CD and Ferguson. I think that's basically all they have for an offense at this point. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Hey
they'll
man, hey man, they have Brandon Cooks. Do not disrespect Brandon Cooks like that, bro.
every year he's underrated. I
Do
agree.
not do not disrespect Brandon Cooks like that, man.
Yeah,
That
in your
I
roster?
boy.
did forget
Is he on
about
your
him. I
roster?
forgot about him.
No, he's not in my roster, but Brandon
Alright.
Cooks always cooks, man. Like
He's
He's
older now,
consistent.
though. He's getting
he's
older.
that dude. But he's been
consistent.
that dude. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
consistent.
but he's not gonna be, he's never going to be your number one.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
your
correct.
guy who complements your number one really well. Like, super underrated every year. That
Yeah.
complements that number one perfectly. And that's why he's such a good fit with CeeDee Lamb. But you remove CeeDee Lamb from that situation,
Yeah, he can't do it alone.
Cook isn't reproducing that production. That's not how that works. I'm sorry. You know, that they're going to be in a world of hurt. I mean, every year the expectation's so high because of the star, you know, and
Yeah.
in America's team and all that, whatever. And they don't live up to it now, much less you lose a star player like CD. Oh, come on now.
You could tell Jerry Jones is still the GM, though, because why didn't they draft a running back or a wide receiver? The deepest wide receiver draft in forever. They don't draft one, and then they don't draft a running back, and they don't have like, what the heck are they doing over there? You know, I'm confused about what they're like. They never draft right later on in the rounds. They just don't.
Hey, how about we let
know how
Metro
many
talk
years
about it?
CD has left? Sorry to interrupt. Does anybody know how many years CD has left on his contract right now?
Is this it? I think it's.
I think it's one in the tag, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
So they could tag him essentially, right?
Next offseason they can tag him.
Yeah.
Twice.
So what I'm saying is that he's under contract for this year, and they can tag him again next year. So why does Jerry have to talk? Why does he have to talk about extending him if he doesn't want to? Just because the media is asking him, and then the media is the one who's spinning it like we don't want him, like Jerry doesn't want him, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, Jerry's not the type of guy to put his business out there, like, you know, for anything. If anything, he'll blow smoke, make you think that, you know, that there's problems in house or whatever. But, you know, he doesn't have to say anything, is what I'm saying. I think CD's gonna get paid, and he's probably gonna what is that? Set the market. Who's the last?
Oh yeah, because he's on his rookie contract still.
Is he really? Holy come on!
Yeah.
I didn't realize
So
that.
You guys are right. They're not gonna. They're gonna pay him. They'll let Dak walk because they're probably tired of this shit, and they'll pay CD. And that's what I think.
For 24. So he had his 4-year rookie
17,
contract for 17, almost 18 million, and his 4-year rookie contract was 14. So like this is it. After this, he is an unrestricted free agent, and depending on how they treat him, if they don't lock him down, he's gone.
I would honestly, I would fucking hold out. You're not paying me, I'm holding out. You
They
don't pay
can't
me,
do it
somebody
without him.
else.
Can't hold
But
out
they're
anymore
going
though. You'll be
to.
fined to death.
The fans will have his head.
Fuck it.
Jerry
Just
Jones.
find me. How much are you gonna find me? $100,000 a
No,
game?
there's like new rules. There's new rules involving holding out. If you hold out, you're gonna be like screwed. That's why they're holding in. There's a new thing holding in now, like what Brandon Ayuk is doing. He's holding
Yeah,
in.
you still report and everything. You just aren't playing or practicing.
Yeah,
or
you just
anything.
don't practice or play, which is
Because
I don't get what the difference between that and holding out is.
issue is when they aren't showing up. That's what they're trying to stop happening, is them just not showing up. And then, so when was it? Last week I had seen an interview that Jerry did. So the whole what was it? That lawsuit that NFL, that Sunday ticket had going on.
You're like the
So
$4 billion.
he had said that he was waiting to see how that played out because he knows he has to pay CD, potentially Dak, and I mean Micah is right behind him too. So he was worried that if he signs into these big contracts, that the salary cap was either going to stay where it's at or potentially even come down.
But
So
that's
why
the
he was.
but that's the dumbest shit that he could do, because then he has to pay more money than the market is at right now. Let's say if Mahomes gets paid next year, bro, he's gonna set the market and Dak's gonna want more money than Mahomes. You know, next year, this wide receivers are going to be asking for 34, 35, 36
Yeah,
million
they keep
dollars.
asking for more and more and
And,
more.
you know, right now you could get fucking CD for 26, 27 guaranteed.
Yeah.
Like the
But I
same
think-
money Tyreek is getting, right? So
Tyreek's getting 30. I don't think CD would ask. You
No,
can't
but-
get CD for 26 right now. I think you can get CD for 30 right now.
so it's guaranteed money. You could get 30 million, but 26 million guaranteed in the contract.
Yeah,
So-
but I think they were waiting for that to play out to see like the max that they would go right now, because let's say they offer him like a fully max freaking contract, and then next year they have to sign. I think next year is when they'll have to sign Micah. So then the salary cap stays where it's at. Then they kind of screwed themselves giving him the max now, vice when they didn't know what potentially was coming down the road.
Yeah, he thought it might
So
go
now-
down, so he didn't want to
Yeah.
overpay. Yeah.
Yeah,
If anyone knows, Jerry knows.
yeah.
Here's the thing, though.
And
Jerry
that's what he
shouldn't have
said.
said what he said because clearly CD got pissed off. The LOL thing, that's passive aggressive.
How do you
Like-
know he's mad? How do you know he's mad?
Bro,
Yeah.
come on, the LOL.
How
Like
do
he
you
was,
how do you know they're not talking
Maybe
in
he's
house?
just laughing out loud.
They're figuring it all out.
maybe I'm wrong,
Because
but I'm
the
assuming.
thing is-
which
Yeah,
just
but the
made
thing is
it,
too
you
is
know.
if you watch the full clip, he explains a little more like what he actually meant. They just clipped it to where he's pretty much saying, "Oh, I'm not worried about paying him." And then that's it. But in like the fuller version, he's talking about like he's not worried about paying him right now because he has time or something like that. So
And we all clicked the link. We all clicked the link, and we
Yeah.
all, we're
And-
curious as to what he was
and
talking
I mean, in reality, he could have just been laughing at how the clip, well, how the video got clipped, like
That
to
is
make it
Exactly.
seem.
You're right.
Exactly.
That is true. That is true.
Nah,
You're
I'd be
interpreting it the way that
I'd be
he
laughing at
wants you to
Jerry.
interpret.
Tua, so that you understand, right? Right now, because Brandon Ayuk is showing up to all the practices and meetings, he gets fined nothing. But Trent Williams, because he's holding out, he's not there at all. Every day he doesn't show up, they're fining him $50,000.
Yep.
That-
Same with
that's
this on
day.
Reddit.
That's
Not
pocket
a week,
change.
not a week,
Dude, that adds
a
up.
day.
That adds up. A day.
A day. Every 2 days is $100,000, bro. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
And he's
That
not getting
adds up.
paid quarterback or receiver money either.
Yeah, you're
He's gonna
But
get like
he's
in.
a 20 mil contract.
He's
Let's say.
20, 25.
like
Yeah.
3 million a
He's-
month.
Yeah, exactly. That's no, it's 1.5
It's a lot of
million
money,
a month,
man.
I believe.
it's a lot of money
One-
for us.
No, and for that small of a contract, if it was like, let's say, let's flip it and let's say it was Watson, right? He's making what, 250? Like 3 mil from 250 is nothing, but 3 mil from 2025, that's a big
Yeah.
change. Or
It'd
that's
be
a big chunk.
1.5 million a month because
That's crazy.
50,000 a day times 10 days
And
is
then times
500,000. Yeah,
Yeah.
times 3. That's 1.5 million a month.
That's crazy.
Which
Yeah,
that's
1.5.
more than
Wow.
Well,
that's
you
that's
gotta.
that's after that's if you include taxes. Okay, say these players are getting paid 20 million a year. They're really only getting 10 million a year.
Yeah.
Depending on the
Especially
So
here in
I mean,
California.
Hey, can you guys?
1.5 million is a lot. That's over 15. That's 15% of a guy making 20 million a year's contract. That's a lot of money, man.
But you gotta also understand that these people have money throughout their career, right? Trent's been in the league for how many years? They got investment, they got sponsors, they got all these things that keep bringing in money
I
that
don't know
might
about
not
that.
even
A lot of them
affect
go
them.
bankrupt 3 years
Bro.
after getting out of the NFL.
But
Be honest.
there's people that are smart with their money, right? There's not everybody's dumb as hell that's always showing out all these cars and all these other things that are like, and Trent, it made a lot of money, bro. He's been making a lot of money. And
Trent definitely
if you're
has. He's rich, yeah.
asking me, left tackle is the second most important position in the NFL because it protects the quarterback.
Yeah,
So
Blindside.
but there's more in it. He's already what, 36, 37?
he wants his money, man.
No,
Yeah.
but he's not looking. Most people don't understand what he's looking for. He's not looking to raise his money, his annual money, his salary. His guaranteed money has run out.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what he's renegotiating for. He just wants to take what's left on his contract and have it renegotiated for guaranteed money because he knows he's getting up there in age and he wants to make sure he doesn't lose any of that money that he has coming to him for the rest of the contract.
Because of an injury or something. Yeah.
That's what Tyreek did. That's what Tyreek, he didn't add any years. He just added the guaranteed money to 26 a year. Instead of, he's getting paid $30 million a year, but it's 26 guaranteed each year. So he doesn't lose that money. He's 30 years old. So can you blame Trent Williams for holding out? I can't.
I mean, he's the best left tackle in football, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
But at the same time,
I get it.
I feel you got to be smart about it too, though.
And I think that's why we've kind of set the tone with Brandon Ayuk because we already know, like, we want to pay Trent what he deserves. At the same time, we have to think about next year.
He said
we got to pay Brock Purdy,
And that's the thing about being
Rams are
good,
part
man.
of the team. Without us, there
have
is
a lot
no
of good
football,
players. You gotta pay. That's the bad thing about being good. That's the only bad thing. When you're a good football team, you have a ton of good players and you can't pay all of them. But the best football teams like the Chiefs, they can afford to get rid of a Tyreek Hill and still win a Super Bowl. I mean, it just goes to prove that.
I'm surprised they did, frankly.
Yeah, I'm very shocked. I really was. When they got rid of him, I was like,
Democratic Party won that Super Bowl for the Chiefs. What are you talking about? But we're not allowed to talk politics here.
No, here we go.
Well, Chiefs.
No, here we don't go.
Chiefs had a really good defense.
The Chiefs had a really good. The defense carried that team last year.
It was one of the best defenses in like a long time in the NFL overall. I don't. Did they even have a 300-yard passer against them all season?
Tua.
Brock
Tua.
Purdy.
Your boy Tua.
The last team that beat the Chiefs.
Tua.
Who?
That is
Brock Purdy in the Super Bowl.
He's got a point there. The Chiefs did get a lot of breaks on penalties.
How many?
And they got away with a lot of holding. They got away with. I mean, there's like you can watch like 100 different videos.
Yeah, you got to look at
a lot.
The last team that beat them was the Raiders, and Crosby got held like 4 times and it wasn't called. And the Raiders, the only reason the Raiders won that game because the Raiders defense was also great. It was a low scoring game, and the defense won that game for the Raiders. It wasn't the Chiefs offense doing anything. It wasn't the Raiders. It was the Raiders defense, and the Chiefs defense last year. They're the ones that won the Super Bowl, I think.
Yeah, I mean, so stats on the Chiefs defense last year, they were for points against them per game, they were second lowest in the NFL. 15
Yep.
points.
See.
Ravens were 15.5. Yards against them the game, they were 289, second lowest in the NFL. As far as like rushing yards against them, they were, I mean, they're like top 5 in every category.
Every category. It's sick. Yeah.
I mean, they had second most sacks in the NFL at 57. Ravens at 60. I mean, yeah,
They
there's
let Snead go too, right?
Yeah. L'Jarius Sneed. He
Yeah.
left. I forgot where
And
he went though.
but they play
Tennessee, I think.
defense.
Tennessee.
Tennessee. That's right.
They
Tennessee.
they still good defensively though, man. Chris
All right.
Jones.
Anybody else have anything to say about the Ayuk thing before we go on with more training camp news? All right. So what do you guys
As soon as
feel
he
about
gets that contract, I'm getting that jersey though, you know? That's it.
I would, heck yeah.
He's gonna get a Steelers jersey.
Stop.
He will.
I had a nom
Patriots,
day
Patriots
jersey I
jersey.
burned. All right, so what do you guys feel about this these training camp fights about DK Metcalf throwing his helmet at somebody?
You know
Let's
what?
start off.
What
Start off,
happened to
Hog Molly.
Seahawks culture? Like, I feel their team culture is just falling apart ever since they lost Carroll. It's like they've lost their way.
What do you
I-
they just lost Carroll like 3 months ago, man. Like
I know, and it shows.
I
They're
mean, it
full, man.
shows he's got a point.
Right away.
I mean,
I'm telling you, I think it's gonna
DK Metcalf.
manifest in the regular season, and I think you're gonna be like, wow, they're not as disciplined as they used to be. They don't have a winning culture. Because Steve Carroll, he was full of positivity. And
But
you got
Pete
people like,
Carroll's still on the staff. He's there in a consulting
Advisory.
role.
but when you're not a
Yeah,
coach,
so like
if you're not a coach, it just doesn't have the same impact.
I don't know. As somebody who has to play them twice a year, every year, DK, you know, he can get a little hot.
He's a monster, but
2
you
years in
saw
a
the
row
same
when
thing
Charvarius
with
Ward
Steelers,
locked
right?
them up.
Tomlin, he had that team on lockdown. You got people that leave and they lose their mind, and then they lose their talent, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
mean,
I think it could be a stretch, but I think we will see the Seahawks this regular season. We're going to see cracks in the culture, and it's because Carroll isn't down on the field regulating and doing his thing that he's done for decades.
Well, let's talk about that. So what teams do you guys feel that were not good last year are going to be good, and what teams do you guys feel are going to be good that weren't good last year? So both ways. Teams that
Tennessee,
weren't good
for
last
sure.
year, not good, and teams that weren't good going to be good. Start
Define
off,
good.
Molly. Or Metro, go ahead.
Sorry, I took that. I just saw a little bit of a window here. Yeah, to the Titans, just because of the coordinator, the offensive coordinator coming from Cincinnati. Yeah, it'll just move the way that offense moved and the way that they say. Will Levis looks like he can push the ball, and he looks like he's got a pair on him and got great receivers. I expect a lot of good things from that offense, man. If anything, they're going to put up a lot of garbage points
From a non-biased Ridley owner.
from a non-biased
Non-biased.
Ridley owner.
And I would be a biased owner. I own Levis and I own Traylon, so praise them.
My
What
pick,
about-
I think it's going to
Go ahead.
be, I think Indianapolis Colts. I
And
think they're going to
Spears.
be
Don't forget Spears.
good this year. Yeah, Spears. I think the Colts are going to be good this year. I think Jonathan Taylor is going to get like 1,600 yards rushing. I think they're just going to ride him.
another non-biased Jonathan
If I was
Taylor.
biased, I would have went with Panthers. I think the Panthers, I don't know if they're going to make playoffs, but I think they're going to be way better than they were last year. There's nowhere to go but
Yeah.
up. But I can't say the Panthers. So I'm going with the
Sam,
Colts.
can't say your own team.
Can't say your own team. So it's going to be the Colts.
Well, I actually, that's what I was going to say. Damn.
I'm gonna go with the Jets.
Ooh, that's a good.
I'm gonna go with them because that defense is for real, and I think the one thing that's really been hindering them is that quarterback position. And as much as I hate to say it, but if Rodgers can like get out there and be healthy, I think they're going to be a contender. They got the receivers You know, Mike Williams is back and ready to go.
We've got a
They've
defense.
already come out, and the defense is serious. Sauce Gardner is a beast, right?
Yes.
So I would say that they have a strong potential to be up there. Although Tua may not like that, but
Did they improve on defense at all? Did they add any pieces on defense?
Yeah,
Just curious because they were already
Reddick
good.
that's holding out. Just Reddick.
He
Hassan
wasn't
Reddick.
there already.
No, he got traded from the Eagles, but he wants the money.
Yeah, he's holding
Oh,
out.
okay. Oh, so they did get a big piece. So they got. So it's. I mean, potentially they got a lot better on defense.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
I
their
don't think
defensive
so.
line has a lot of injuries. That's the only reason Hassan Reddick was holding out. So he was not going to hold out, but then he saw 2 defensive starters get injured on the defensive line, and now he realizes he has leverage, and he's like, "Oh, they need me. They really need me. I'm going to hold out." He wasn't going to do it before.
That's a good point.
Yeah, like he straight up admitted it too. He's like, "That's why." Like he's not even denying why he's holding out. It's pretty weird, actually.
Tua against the Jets defense, that super defense is 6-0, so I'm not even worried about it, bro.
Well, what happens when it weather's below 40 degrees?
I'm not worried about it. Tua's 6-0
Oh.
against that defense, bro. It's like
Ouch.
even in December against the Jets, 6-0, boy. Like, I'm not worried about that team.
Man, your
Roger,
boy-
like honestly, I seen their training camp, and Rogers can't even put his foot down correctly.
he is kind of looking a little suspect. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
so
He's looking a little
let's
suspect.
just not talk about no Jets, D-Rec. You
but
know who's
you-
gonna be
says
the
the
you know-
Dolphins fan
you
in
know who's
here, huh?
gonna be the surprising one? The Rams. The
The Rams-
Rams are
the
gonna
Rams are
beat
not
the
a
shit out of
surprise.
everybody in
Are you
that
saying
in that
the
division.
Rams?
The
The
Rams.
But
The
how is
Rams
that
are not a
surprising?
surprise, brother. They were in the playoffs
They're
last
No,
expected
but
to win.
they're like
Almost.
contenders. Like
We're
they're gonna
talking
be
dark horses.
contenders.
Dark horses.
Oh, dark horses.
Were they
Yeah,
not
Dark
last year?
horses, teams that were not in the playoffs.
The Dolphins, right? Dolphins are a dark horse because they probably won't make the playoffs this year.
Oh,
damn.
Because they're a
what about
double
you, Max?
dollar
What team
thing.
do you think is going to be better and that didn't make that wasn't good last year?
Like, yeah, like I don't like whatever.
I
the
think-
Bears, whatever.
No, I'm not gonna
The
lie.
Cardinals.
Yeah, the Cardinals look good too, but nah, I'm
No,
not gonna
they
say
don't.
the.
You can say
Well,
Panther, don't you? You can
We'll
say Panther.
see. Murray
I'ma
has
say.
that big ass receiver now.
I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think the Colts. I think the
I was
Colts.
gonna
Good
say the
choice.
Colts.
That's a good choice.
I was
You're
gonna
a
say
smart
the
man.
Colts.
You're a smart man.
You know, Anthony Richardson's back and healthy. He's gonna be killing it.
This year's Texans.
He's gonna be killing it. What he did at the beginning of the year last year, boy, he was killing it, yo. But he got injured and went downhill. You know,
Since I
Yeah.
can't say the Colts, I'll say I don't know how comfortable I am with this pick because I thought the Colts too, but I'll say the Falcons. Only if Kirk Cousins stays healthy.
Yeah, that was gonna be my pick was Atlanta because Kirk Cousins, Robinson. You know, I think he's gonna love Pitts and London. It's that team's
But-
gonna be.
The rookie looked pretty decent.
Which rookie?
The Washington, the Husky.
Penix.
Yeah.
Oh, Penix? Really? I haven't watched him yet.
I mean, for his NFL debut, right? It's preseason. He's not going against first stringers, but he looked pretty decent.
Yeah,
He did
was
look
pretty
good.
He was
He
pretty
looked
good.
I heard the
he's
Raiders
pro
wanted to
anymore.
trade up to get him. So I mean,
It reminds me of Aaron Brooks. Not anything impressive to me. He looks he can spin it, but I want to see when the rush gets in his face. When grown men are chasing him, not Pac-12 players.
oh, I'm
Crossfire.
surprised no one said the Bears.
Yeah, I think they got a shot.
I don't think the Bears are ready to take that though. I personally don't think the Bears
I didn't want to say the Bears because I feel everyone's going to say the Bears.
Nah.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
not
I
going
feel-
to say the Bears because I think Green Bay is going to have a hot season again.
Yeah. And then I don't feel Caleb is CJ Stroud level to where he's going to have that impact as a rookie.
I think he also
And he's
makes
got to
some pretty
deal with
weird
Detroit
demands in his
too.
contract. Like he's not diva. He's just like odd.
No, he is GAY, bro.
Like,
Almost
well, I mean,
positive after watching Hard Knocks. I'm sorry.
I personally don't think that's gonna affect him as an NFL player, but I do think that like if you just come across as like a weirdo, then you're gonna have a hard time getting your team to follow you.
But he's always been like that, man. Like in the Pac-12, he's always been like that. And guess what? Utah beat his ass too.
But I'm not
Utah
talking
beat
about
it.
I'm not talking about
Gotta get the
his
nails done.
mannerisms, it's his demands. Like, did you see his demands in his contract?
Yeah,
That was
dude,
whack.
those were
Too
so
high?
weird. He
Like
wanted his own personal
he wants his
mail.
like mom to have coach access, and
Oh my god, the guy's a
It-
weirdo, dude.
it's
Did you
bizarre.
see how he tried to call out the whole team of picking up after themselves? That was crazy because
And Hard
someone
Knocks and Hard
who's been
Knocks.
on the team, someone who's been on the team for years can say that. Like when Ed Reed told everybody to clean up after themselves, that's one thing. But a rookie, like a 21-year-old kid, coming into the locker room, you're a 34-year-old left guard, right? And you had this kid tell you like, clean up your towel. Oh, dude, that's
But
not something.
Hey,
so
Metro.
is that leadership or is that just being delusional?
Metro, it shows.
He needs to fucking earn the right to be able to say that. Like,
I agree.
learn your playbook first. You know what I mean?
It shows you haven't been in the military, Metro.
No, I haven't.
That is, bro. That is true. The military, like lieutenants would come in and like boss people around, and they'd get in fights with master sergeants and shit. That would happen a
Thinking
lot.
what?
It
Like
seems like
second lieutenants would get in fights with like master sergeants and stuff, and the master sergeant would always win that battle in the long run.
Like getting a fight, like
argue.
An argument.
Like,
An
No, just
argument.
argue. Just argue. Well, security
Fisticuffs.
forces maybe a fist fight, but
well, I mean, if the guy's higher rank, wouldn't he? I mean, doesn't he have more power to make sure that guy,
Pays
like
each other.
ends up learning his lesson, right?
no, not. It's different though. It's different. It's just different.
Dude,
trust me.
I'll be the first
there's a
person to tell you I
respect
wouldn't
level.
be able to cut it.
There's a respect level to senior enlisted.
I couldn't even have my
that
dad
junior
coach my
officers
team,
have to
dude. Like,
understand.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Especially chief petty officers.
respect to
Yeah.
those who could, do that.
Yeah, there's just D-Rex right. There's just a respect level. Like Caleb Williams should come in and respect. Like I know he's the quarterback and he's supposed to be the leader, but he also needs to come in and respect those master sergeants. You know, he needs to come in.
Yeah,
And
how would that go
veterans.
down in the military? As someone who's like just came in, trying to call out.
It wouldn't work. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
The
it
master
depends when,
sergeant
right?
always won.
Yeah, it
Vietnam,
depends.
Vietnam,
Get his ass beat.
you get
Yeah,
fragged.
Yeah,
dude.
Vietnam they'd kill a lieutenant. In Vietnam, they did kill lieutenants. They would shoot them literally.
Yeah, see, so that shit didn't seem like it was normal. Like that, he just
Towel
it seemed
snap
like
them in the locker room.
even when I heard it, like yeah.
I just think I think the hindsight on this will be 2020 because if Caleb Williams shows out and shows that he's pro ready and amazing, then they'll be like, oh, that was leadership. That was awesome. He did a good job. Way to, ship the locker room.
That is true.
But if he stinks, they're gonna be like, he should have tried to grow a little bit more slowly and slow his roll. And I see nothing wrong with him being bold. I think it's strange when he has weird contract demands that kind of
I agree.
it's only give me brown Skittles or else I'm gonna, freak out, not go out on stage. Like some of it I think is just a little excessive. Like you don't need that. You're professionals. Play
Yeah,
football.
he has an entitled way about him. Very entitled.
And it just seems odd. And I would think, it's a room full of millionaires. They're all going to be eccentric. They're all going to have demands. They're all incredibly talented. And they're looking at the new guy who hasn't taken one NFL rep. And they're probably going to say, all right, we're just going to let them come through and we're going to teach you a lesson once or twice your first couple snaps because you don't get it.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a rough go first couple games until they're like, you get it now? Are you willing to be a teammate? Or are you going to try to boss us around? Because I still get paid. It doesn't matter. Like I could have a 0-17 season. I'm still getting paid. And there's plenty of guys that'll say that's the way they'll go. But
At least at first until he earns it.
And plus, I don't like the Bears, so I really do hope that they go 0-17. So that'd be good too. Give my Panthers win.
All right, so other news. So what players do you guys feel have not just rookies, any players that haven't previously shown out that are now showing out in camp? Say like a Traylon Burks or whatever. Let's start with this time we'll start with the F.L.O.G champ over there. Nice statue over there. Are you there, F.L.O.G champ?
He's not there.
All right. How about you, Bad Hombres?
Start with two-time champ.
Two-time champ. All right, D-Rec, you're up.
What
How
was
do
the
you feel?
question?
What players?
What was
What was the question?
what was the players
So
like?
what?
Not
Yeah.
rookies. Well, not just rookies, but veterans as well that have shown out in camp that has you excited. It doesn't have to be in your team. It could just be overall any player that you've seen that has shown out and that you look forward
That
to like
usually
seeing.
doesn't stand out. Yeah.
Yeah.
A surprise in camp.
I mean, I think, well, I don't know, that surprised me is hard because like Tracy, I mean, he should get the opportunity. So that one wasn't really that much of a surprise. Let me see. Let me check my draft list real quick. Hold on. It's short, so it'll be quick.
So is it somebody
I
that?
would say
Go ahead.
probably
Sorry.
Johnny Wilson.
Yeah, that's that. I've heard some good things about him. Like an instance, the other night, Eric Gray had a great game. I don't necessarily say he's been doing great in camp, but like Eric Gray, he's not a rookie, he's a second year guy. He had a great game. That juke he put on that safety,
That was a nice cut. That was a
Yeah.
nice cut.
that was a very nice cut. There's been a couple other guys that are finally doing well in camp, like Traylon Burks. They're saying he looks a lot better. He looks skinnier. He's not a fatty anymore. At least the players I know. I haven't really looked at any other players, but like Jonathan Mingo has looked way better in second year. You know, it feels like a lot of the second and third year guys are starting to turn it on a little bit. You know, from multiple teams. It seems like it just takes a couple years for a lot of the players to maybe the light comes on.
What
How do you
about you,
feel?
Hog?
So I'm trying to not to be too biased because it's certain teams I just swear they have tons of talent. Like I feel like on the Niners, there's a lot of outstanding running backs that could be the backup to CMC. Like it just seems like there's quite a few that are looking
That
pretty
is
decent.
true. I
I
agree with
really
that.
like personally Jordan Mason. I
I love
think
him. Yeah.
he may never be relevant because of where he is in a depth chart and how the people above him are just that much more talented. But I think he is a fantastic depth piece that any team would be desperate to sign on the cheap and have them in reserve in case somebody goes down or something unforeseen happens. You got to spell your stud. I really like Jordan Mason. I think he has a ton of potential. He's never bad. He's just not fantasy relevant, but I think he's an example of someone that is a really good football player and a really good presence on the team and just provides a lot of needed just redundancy and backup that he's someone that I think if CMC goes down or he
And
has
he
an
has
opportunity,
CMC has gone down,
yeah, I mean
so he
he's
could
had
be
a
fantasy.
lot issues over the years, and he's not getting younger, and we know running backs take a beating. So
Madden
my vote's
curse,
kind of Jordan Mason. I
system.
think he's ready and he's doing his thing and he's grinding and he has a shot of showing up and getting paid. Will he?
I think
You
he's
own
gonna
him?
need a new team though.
Yeah.
Probably. And that might be it, right? When it's time for them to move on, do they want to, give him what he deserves or, let someone else take a flyer on him and say, okay, maybe we got our guy. Maybe we got a cheap
Yeah.
rental running back for a year or
Well,
two. We
the
figure
thing is, there's
other
like
pieces.
a lot of examples of that too. Singletary, Mostert,
Yeah, there are. There's quite a bit.
Especially
Moss.
Jeff
with running
Wilson,
backs.
even Jeff Wilson was good,
Yeah.
a good backup for them.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Do you own
they just have a
Mason
nose for,
Longhorns?
I think, running back talent, or maybe coaching them upright and making them good. I don't know.
Matt Breida. Matt
Yeah.
Breida was good with them.
Yeah.
Now he's back with them.
Yeah.
He's gonna be taking over as the second running back. So, because Mitchell's injured, isn't he injured still?
He's always hurt. That's like the story
Yeah.
of life.
Yeah, but they
Mitchell is
drafted
hurt, but
Garendo too.
He's hurt too. I like him though. I like him a lot, but I think he's hurt too.
Garindo, he is
Garendo.
hurt. Yeah, I heard
Yeah.
he's hurt.
So Matt
Man, there's a
Breida's gonna
lot
be
of good
RB
rookies.
two.
Gee, crazy a good amount of good rookies this year. At least
Yeah.
so far from what we've seen, at least. I mean, training camp is
Who's the other
training
one?
camp.
Not
Mhm.
Shipley. There's the other
speaking
one too.
about my Niners and running backs, we drafted this kid from Ohio State
Schrader.
named Trey Sermon,
Oh, Sermon.
and he
yeah.
and
He's
he
a backup
left,
now.
and
He's a
he
backup
left,
now.
and he went to Philly, and then after Philly, he got picked up by the Colts this year after to be the backup. It looks like over
won.
there, and
Oh yeah, and
and
he's
and
going
he
to beat
is
out Evan Hull
having
and Tyler Goodson. He's going to beat him out.
and
Easy.
he is
He did,
having
yeah.
a absolute standout off season right now,
Yeah.
training camp. And I think that if he produces well during these preseason games, he is going to be the backup there in the for the Colts. And
Well,
Thanks,
there's
Val.
one guy right there, Trey Sermon. There's a
Thanks,
couple
Val.
of these guys. Crazy.
Yeah,
Never even heard of him.
I think he'll have 500 all-purpose yards. I think so.
Yeah.
yeah,
Any other players anybody have?
I'm not to be biased for my Dolphins, but Jalen Wright is looking nice. Like Jalen
Fast
Wright was
little
looking
fist.
nice today. Like he might have had a little bit of like problems grabbing the ball and stuff like that, but that boy looked nice against the Falcons too. Like he took care of his like rushes.
Yeah.
He scored a touchdown. Like I think he's gonna be good. And he's a third or fourth round pick. And I think we gotta.
Well, one thing regarding like these guys making the team, that kind of I know it's good for the NFL, but it's annoying for fantasy. Is now you can roster 90 players, and then you're cut down to 53 is like August 26th after the preseason game. You know, whereas before, remember
My
they
birthday.
would wind down. They'd have like, okay, now you got to trim
Weekly,
down to
yeah,
X
that
amount. Like there was like 3
yeah.
or 4 tranches. I like that better because then I can figure out who I need to cut loose because we have deep rosters. I mean, right now we have
Yeah,
what,
we do.
65,
Yeah.
65 active, and we got to get
Yeah,
down to
that's a lot.
53, and then we have 10 taxi and then injured reserve. And it gets hard if you're really, really trying to, find the diamonds in the rough, and you just want to hold on to everyone. So
Yeah, like you were saying last night, you might have to cut Eric Gray. And he
I might
had
have
a
to cut
great
Eric Gray
game.
because
Yeah, he might
I
have
don't
had a
know what
great
he's gonna be.
preseason
And,
game.
he had one good preseason game, but he hasn't done much since. And most of these guys, let's be frank, don't become much, especially when you got, someone the caliber of Saquon in front of you. So yeah, I just wish we would steadily cut versus the big guillotine, and then you got to scramble and figure out who you're going to get rid
I
of.
think the reason they're doing that though is because of injuries. They don't want to like have to cut somebody and then they get an injury and wish they didn't cut him.
Right, and then you got to re-sign, and it's also a pain to the player, right? Because I always forget, like, we treat these like names on a list or our favorite
They're
celebrities.
making more money, staying
Yeah,
longer.
well, and they got to move, man. They got to leave the state, go to another state, buy a new home, figure things out. If they got a family, they got to figure out the family life. Yeah, they're millionaires. They'll be okay, but
not all. I mean, not the rookies. The rookies aren't.
No.
Some of these rookies are making nothing. Like the undrafted free agents, third through seventh. Even the third rounders are making what, $1 million a year after taxes, $500K.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of money, but
yeah,
a lot of these undrafted guys are getting like in Hard Knocks. One of the offensive linemen that got injured, undrafted, he got a $20,000 signing bonus. After taxes, that's like 10 grand.
Yep. Well,
and if he doesn't get cut until the end of camp, that's another 20 grand he's making staying that just a month longer.
Yeah.
That's a good chunk of change for some of these guys.
Might be a good suggestion for a rule change to change our cut date.
Right? Maybe.
So with our cut date, it just means we have an illegal roster, so we can sit with an illegal roster and just wait
until week 1.
Yeah, then submit a lineup. We just can't submit a lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think you also can't trade.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Can we trade?
If you have an illegal
Not with-
lineup, I don't think you can trade.
Oh.
Scared Rayman there.
So yeah, when you got to
Nice-
cut,
nice
if
try,
you say I'm
Raymond.
not going to cut, somebody wants to trade you. Now you got to do your cuts, and then you can do your trade.
Damn.
Yeah,
I guess
so
I'll have to be doing
it's one of
cuts.
those like, yeah, if you know, and we've been trading a lot this year, which is actually pretty cool.
We have been trading a lot.
Way more active than
Contrary to
any other
popular belief,
preseason.
might I add.
Oh, let's get that. Is Metro here? Let's get that argument going. Here
Metro
he
has-
is.
Metro
Oh,
got
I got
Bob's.
unmuted. Thank you, Ho.
Kid
Oh, that's
Rock, there you
awesome.
go, Kid Rock.
What happened? What was the question?
About the new rule. We were talking about the new rule where the seller could accept a better offer from someone. Or
There,
Yeah, you guys got sunglasses
It was-
on.
Oh man,
it was-
I feel like
it
I
was-
can't. I'm not. I shouldn't be able to say anything right now. I don't have any trading chips. I haven't. I think I traded my last one away to get going, and then
thank you, by
yeah,
the way.
no, I'm in
I think you have
emergency
one
mode.
first.
The only thing, yeah, is I got one move left with that first round pick. So but
Brian
I'm for
Thomas Jr.
whatever. I like being able to make a deal with someone without anyone else's involvement. But I
Yeah.
get why people, wanted to do that. But in any other league, it's no one's business. But I know that joining another redraft league was one of the topics of discussion. And
Oh
you guys
yeah.
asked me why Rafa wouldn't want to go into that league with those people. I actually was able to pull off a trade. I was in first place, and I had drafted 3 starting tight ends. I had Laporta for sure because I knew he was going to do good, and I drafted him in our league. So I had a chance to trade away Laporta, and I had 2 others tight ends that were better than Laporta, and I got CMC, and the league vetoed it.
Ooh.
They just vetoed it, and I'm like, what the hell? Why
I'd
did you
leave
guys
that
do
league.
that? And they're like,
I'd
we
be
just
done.
didn't want you to have him. That's it. We just didn't want you to have him.
That's ridiculous to me.
That's
See,
good.
so
That's good. That's a good veto. I like the veto.
yeah,
I like
see,
it.
and some
He's a hater.
people
I
people
like
like it.
I like
Yeah.
it.
But
We
here's
got
the thing.
Karen in
Here's
here.
the thing, though, Tua. Here's the thing, Tua. If the rule is put in to so that if something happens where it's not fair, the majority of the league can veto it, right?
Yeah.
But the thing about this league is that all of these dudes work together. I used to work with them, but years ago. So they have no what is that? Like no
Allegiance.
need to be loyal to me for
Yeah,
anything,
I agree. I
right?
agree with you. I don't know any of you
So-
guys personally, so
So yeah, so if they wanted all just to gang up, just to be dicks, to to prevent me from doing it, and they were all like, "Oh well, he's already in first place. He makes this trade, he's gonna win, right?" So they all just basically agreed to
cooler.
stop me
I agree.
from doing that.
Collusion.
So it's like
Collusion.
the rule is good because if there's some weird shit going on, but if you're one cat among 9 people or 10 people that you don't know, and if they just want to screw you like that, you can't do anything about it. So
I would definitely, I would definitely be a little suspect and be like,
It makes
be able
sense.
to their motives.
But I
See,
would have
so-
vetoed that vote. I would have vetoed that trade too.
We don't
CMC
need
for
to veto
Laporte
in
was
this league,
just a
though.
hater.
We
Don't
don't
listen
need
to
to
him.
veto in this league because we have the
No,
rule
we don't.
about
He was a
someone
hater. He was
accepting
a
a
hater.
better
We
offer.
don't. But
Yeah.
CMC for Laporte? Come on, man.
No,
no,
he
no,
never
no,
said
no,
that.
no. I
He
was
never
giving
said
him
that.
Laporta and a couple other dudes, like
Yeah.
a
What
was
starting
the
running
other?
back.
The house.
It was.
Name him. Name him.
I'll find it. I sent it to Rafa. We should probably go back in the history and find
Kendrick
it. But it was.
Bourne,
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. I was like, man, I'm gonna win this champion, and I made it to the finals, but I didn't
Shark.
win.
What is it, Rafa? I mean, bad hombres. I know you know it. Come on.
No,
I think
he was
it was
pissed
like
too. He was like, man, that's
Kamara or
fucked up.
somebody.
I could
I
see why.
remember.
I could see. I
Yeah,
don't want
like
to
a-
join a league
like
with
a
those guys
legit
either. I
Gardner
don't want to join a
Legit
league
running
with those
back
guys.
and
Right,
a legit
right.
receiver.
But if the league is half of them and half of us, then there's no way that
With no
something
veto.
shitty
With
like
no
that could
veto.
happen.
And
You
we could
know?
have no veto. If we did a league with them, we could have no veto. There can't
Well,
be a
the thing
veto.
is that ESPN, its standard league version
Yeah, but
has
you
that
can
rule.
turn that off.
Is it majority or
You
is it like
could turn
one
it
to
off,
one or
but I mean,
what is it? How many
Turn it
people?
off then.
Like
Tell them if they want to play with us, they got to turn it
Yeah,
off.
6. It's just half the league.
you need half. So if we control half, it's like politics. We'll just
right.
filibuster.
Damn,
We'll
it's like
be-
Kamala versus Trump up in here.
Nah, but I
Yeah.
just think it vetoing would be good because there's collusions, you know, like there'll be
There
like
isn't
fucking.
collusion in our league, though.
Yeah, but
There-
look, they colluded against me.
Nah,
Right.
I get
They
that.
colluded against me.
But
you
if
know?
it was a legit trade, like I thought it was just gonna be Laporte and CMC.
No,
No.
dude, it was super legit because he
Well,
had hella
'cause it's
injuries, and
it's
he was
redraft,
filling roster
too.
spots. I gotta find that.
even
stupid
if
he has-
okay, even
he
if
has
it
to be
wasn't a
trading
legit
legit
trade,
guys.
I robbed idiot, what's his name with Max Crosby. Why should that get vetoed? Because I'm
Did
smarter.
it. You won.
Exactly. Thank you.
I
It
would
should
have
not
vetoed
be
that.
vetoed.
I would have vetoed that.
You're a
I would have
smart-
vetoed that.
If you're a smart owner, you shouldn't be punished for it.
I would have
That's
vetoed that.
ridiculous.
I'd be
Why?
like, you're taking advantage of someone who doesn't know about football that listens to
They shouldn't.
MG.
They shouldn't be on here. Then they shouldn't be investing.
Yeah,
He
They
listens
need to
to
be on there.
MG.
The guy shouldn't be playing. Then that's his own problem. Sorry, this is a competition. This
I
isn't
would've-
DEI. This isn't liberal DEI over here.
I'm here to help. I'm here to help people, right? And that's fucked up, if you ask me. Taking advantage of someone who doesn't know about football, like, come on, man.
Bro, we're in a fantasy football
They
league.
shouldn't be in the
They
fantasy
shouldn't be
thing,
in the
man.
league.
If they don't
These
know what they're
aren't
doing,
these aren't homeless
that's
veterans,
their
man.
fault.
Hey, so are we? So what?
He said these are homeless veterans.
Are we kicking out Bruce Wayne then of the league? Is that what you're saying?
No, because I'll veto you.
Oh no, I'm not the one that's gonna kick him out. I'm just asking. It's a
I don't want
question.
you
No,
taking
not
advantage
kicking
of him
him
and
out.
kicking him out.
It's good to have
Making
an
him
idiot in the league.
a teamless veteran.
I'm not calling Dorian an idiot. I'm just saying
Well, now I know who to
he's
go
making
for a
some
trade.
bad. He's made bad trades. That's all I'm saying. I actually like Dorian. He's a good guy.
Maybe he thinks they're good. Like in redraft.
That's why I'm just backing up Bruce Wayne. You know, it's me backing him up.
You're trying to trade
I
with him,
think-
aren't you?
No,
I think that's what happens
Yeah, you're trying
when
to trade
Metro
with Bruce Wayne.
goes too long without advising him. Is he starts using his own mind to think, and you see what happens.
bed, dude.
Anyways, all right, enough with this. Last topic. All right, last topic. How do you guys feel about some training camp battles? I'll go first on this. The Aiden O'Connell, Gardner Minshew battle.
Yeah.
To
there
me,
we
it's
go.
pretty obvious. I'm a
Hmm.
Raiders fan. It's pretty obvious right now that Gardner Minshew is winning that battle from everything I've read. And I don't know if it's going to happen in the end, but I just feel like Gardner Minshew gives us a better chance to win. He did well with the Colts last year. They went 8-9, although AOC had similar numbers and he was a rookie. I just feel like Gardner Minshew is going to win that battle. Any other battles you guys have?
Yeah, so
Hog
we've been talking about the Colts a lot, right? But I think the Colts wide receiver core with Downs going down,
80.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Alec Pierce and Mitchell, the rookie. I think they're kind of dueling. They were dueling for wide receiver 3. Now maybe they're dueling for getting behind Pittman as wide receiver 2. And I know Alec Pierce I mean, he had a lot of snaps last year, but he didn't do a lot with them. But they're both doing really well in camp. And I think that's going to be something to watch. Downs is my boy, and he was looking amazing, and then he hurt himself. But hopefully he's back for, week 2, week 3.
He'll be back. What about you, Tua? What
Ooh,
do you gotta say?
this gonna make Raymond mad, but Booty,
Bro, this guy in
Booty,
and you need to learn
Booty.
how to pronounce names. It's Boot.
Booty, whatever his name, Booty, whatever, is gonna be taking wide receiver 3. He looks so good in preseason, the preseason game.
That's fine because Baker's wide receiver 2 or 1. So
Over
that's-
Kendrick
No, he
Bourne
ain't.
and Douglas. Stop.
Yeah, I own
And
Kendrick
stop.
Bourne. I own Kendrick Bourne, and he is not Javon Baker, buddy.
No,
Javon
he's
Baker
better.
is
He's better.
Javon
Anyway,
Baker is better than Kendrick Bourne. I
hey,
promise you
Raymond,
that.
I didn't interrupt you, all right? I'm putting my point, my opinion, all right? I'm
Go
about to
ahead.
mute you. I'm about to
Go-
mute you.
Uh-oh.
All right?
Exercising
Got
power.
the power. Hey, no, but he looks so good in this preseason game. And they're saying that all the hype he's getting in training camp, they're like, yo, this legit dude is killing it. So Raymond might not like it. He might not like it. And of course he doesn't because he's hyping his players up all the time. But
Bro, I own Kendrick
hey
Bourne.
man, what did I just say? Damn.
Did you mute the host?
No, I didn't mute him, but I'm about to. But anyway,
Man,
I think
abuse of powers.
my boy gonna be he's gonna
Can we veto that?
make an impact.
I'd veto it.
He said we gonna veto that.
Hey, what about
one
you,
thing
Bad
I will
Hombres?
say,
Go on, Bad
So-
Hombres. What do you got?
all this talk about all these players doing good during the preseason, you do realize they're going against like guys that are still trying to make their own team. So like third, fourth stringers.
Practice squad.
So like who was his name Gray when he broke that
Eric
cornerback's
Gray,
ankle.
yeah.
He broke the cornerback's ankles. Is probably gonna be working at like the Nugget in a month. In reality, like
As long as his buddies that work with him don't collude against him.
so, I mean, that's one thing that I always take into account is they might be looking sensational, but when it comes time to them playing against ones and twos, it's
Thank
a
you.
whole different thing.
And Keyshawn Boots been against threes, and Javon Baker's been against ones.
And
son.
Baker played against four stringers and he only had 2 catches for like 11 yards.
He barely played. Because he barely played.
He played more than Booty. Respectfully.
He calls him Booty.
All right.
Booty. Anybody else got some battles? Some training camp battles?
And please
How
be and please be relevant because that whole AOC Minshew, that's not relevant. That's
Well, so-
irrelevant.
Okay.
As
So
in Adam
I think
Droner,
relevant.
we
that's
talked
relevant.
about the CeeDee Lamb trade, right? And I think their wide receiver core, though I don't think it's very talented. You've got the Jalen's are kind of dueling
Tolbert,
for that
yeah.
wide receiver 3 if CeeDee Lamb plays. And then we talked about Brandon Cooks, how he's a good wide receiver too. But Jalen Tolbert and Jalen Brooks, or as Luis would say, Tolbert. And
So bad.
I'm messing with you. But I
Tolbert.
do think that the Jalen's, it's going to be interesting how they show out. Because Dak, I think, has the ability to make any receiver relevant in fantasy. They just gotta get the targets.
Yeah.
And I think they'll probably
My
actually go
dynasty
fourth
team has
option.
too many wide receiver threes, too. Gosh damn. Trey Tucker, Jalen Tolbert, Jermaine Burton, Jalen McMillan. Bunch of bums.
The best
Well, the hard part is, are
wide
they
receiver
a
three.
starting option? Is the wide receiver 3 worth starting? On some
I
offenses,
know. That's what I'm saying.
on
It
some
sucks.
offenses, you're gonna get 8 points.
My best advice for the Cowboys is go get Michael Thomas or go get Jarvis Landry.
I
That's
think
easy.
Jarvis. I agree with
Nah.
Jarvis. I think
Thomas might go to the
for
Falcons.
possession receiver, that's your guy. Thomas, I think is
I
What
don't
about Hunter
think
Renfro?
Jarvis should go to. I don't think Jarvis should go to Atlanta. What is it? They got the kid from what's his name? Washington. Their 6th round pick there.
Hodge?
He had a,
Hodge?
he had a pretty good
Casey?
preseason game, but the dark horse over there is Ray McLeod.
Ray. I think Ray's got the 3rd lockdown. I think
Man,
I
you took
think
it
he's
on.
gonna have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, go ahead,
I
my
think
bad.
he's gonna have that third spot there in Atlanta.
Yes.
And then the one that I think brings up the most controversy that I'm really curious to see how, and I'm not as curious about the preseason as much as I am to see how things go in the regular season. But what's going on with the quarterback situation for the Steelers? Who's gonna end the season as QB1? Is it gonna be Russell?
Dangerous. It's
You
gonna
know,
be dangerous.
I mean, I think it'll be Russell Wilson. He was
Me too.
he had really good stats last year, even though everyone crapped
did.
on
He
him.
had great
And the
stats.
Broncos weren't exactly a winning team.
He
I-
wasn't
I-
out there fumbling. during
And
the
he's got
preseason game.
great
Fields just
receivers,
doesn't have
and
ball control. I just don't.
Why do you think I traded him?
Yeah, I think even when he fumbles, okay, yeah, he recovers it. Well, he still lost control of the ball. They still lost it down. So,
He has no accuracy either. The guy throws the ball just
Fields is a
everywhere.
great athlete. I just don't think he's an NFL starting
Should go do
quarterback.
track or something.
Yeah, I think Dangerous has another year or two in him.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
I
but
just don't. I
everybody
don't know
said
what they're going to
that.
do to solve long
Everybody,
term.
everybody said that about Lamar Jackson in his first 2 years. So I traded him away to Tua, and look how that worked out for me. Not good, because the last 2 years he's been freaking balling out. So
Yeah, but Lamar everybody knew Lamar was going to turn out. Everybody knew. I feel like with
I
Justin
think they
Fields, it's
thought
different.
he would, but he
Yeah, there wasn't
sure didn't
as
look
many
like it in those
questions
first 2
as are
years.
with Fields right now, though.
No,
Yeah.
that's true. But Fields has also been
But
in really underwhelming situations.
if Russell Wilson can't stay healthy, it won't matter, right? I mean, he's
Yeah, I
getting
agree.
older,
That is
and even
true.
though he has a great history of always being available on Sunday, like he's had some calf issue, and if he can get out on the field, it won't matter. Justin Fields will fumble 3 times and win 8 games. So
If he's on the Steelers, he'll probably make the playoffs.
he probably will
And
because
Tomlin
Tomlin's
can turn
amazing.
yeah,
That
that guy can turn
defense,
a turd into a freaking piece of gold, man.
I want personally, I want Russell Wilson to play over Fields because I don't want Fields to cut into the run game because I think they have a nice 1-2 punch with Harrison and Jalen.
Oh, Jalen Warren. Yeah, Najee Harris.
Yep. I think they have
want
a
to trade
really nice
me
thing
here?
going and they'll be able to grind down teams and then just surprise them. But if Fields gets into the mix, I don't know what that's going to do.
Hey, Lego, you still want to give me Jalen Warren, bro?
No.
Why do you always get all the running backs that just
Rafa's been trying to get him forever.
What
goodness
about Cooper? Let
gracious.
him go, Lego.
I already traded away Spears and
Hi, Jen.
I traded away a lot of running backs already, actually.
yeah, I get dibs on Warren if he does move.
I'm still hurt about Hombres took Adams, man. I'm hurt about that.
Devontae?
Yep.
I mean, you could always put a bid out there.
Yeah.
Try to out trade me.
We shall see.
I mean,
he's already in his team. You can't see.
How much time do we have left, Tua?
You could keep going if you wanted to. We
All
don't
right,
have a time limit.
one last thing, I guess, or a couple more things. It's not it has nothing to do with football, but we only get it once every 2 years, 4 years if you're just counting the Summer Olympics. Anybody see anything interesting in the Summer Olympics so
the
far?
breakdancing that shouldn't be a sport.
Yeah, I agree with you, buddy.
That's incredible.
I haven't watched one bit of that. But the swimming and the track is legit. I like the
I
swimming.
thought
And the track.
diving was interesting.
I'm-
We saw like the best and the worst. We saw a perfect score from the Chinese, right? Got the gold medal. She got 10s. And then the American got a 0. She hit the diving board. I thought
Ouch.
that considering they're the best athletes in the world at what they do, I was shocked there was such disparity in their performances. I guess it just shows they're human, right? But and then didn't the USA men's basketball team, didn't they avoid
They
they're in the
barely
finals with
won.
France? Are they in the finals with France?
They barely won. They
Against-
were down 17 and they came back and
Yeah.
won.
Like Curry
Against-
like just lit them up and LeBron did
Nikola
it.
Jokic. But
Yeah.
my
Yeah,
favorite
and
about
I'm super excited to see the U.S. women go against what seems to be their Olympic rival now against Brazil.
yeah, it does seem to be, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like the women's teams or individuals really showed out this year for the US. Like
They
they
did.
really just like just went off. The men, we could do better. We have, I think, the most medals, and we're like fighting the Chinese back and forth for the most golds. But
Isn't it weird? Have you guys ever noticed this? Like the communist countries, when like China, like when it comes to not necessarily like physical skill, when it comes to sports like synchronized diving and stuff like that, they're much more disciplined and they tend to get more golds when it comes to stuff that you have to be more disciplined in it. And America gets more golds in like running and the more physical stuff. I just noticed that like there's like a trend with that. Like China, it's a very, their culture is just different. And it feels like they
Very
get all
strict.
the golds in they have different strengths. And I've really noticed that over the years. And like the long distance runners, it's always like Kenya, Ethiopia. It's just it's kind of cool watching how certain countries are just better at certain things,
I think the more restrictive countries, like back in the day, USSR, Soviet Union, and now the People's Republic of China, I think they, because of their restrictions of freedoms and more government control, I
Yeah.
think they put a lockdown on their athletes, and I think they
Yeah,
actually say like,
exactly.
we are gonna try to groom you 50 to be, professional divers and go to the Olympics and make our country proud. It's an honor to do this. You're gonna go to this camp, you're gonna train for the next 4 years, and may the best person make it and represent us. And
Bingo.
we
Yeah.
expect you to win. I
Loser
think like
dive.
that's that in their mind, that's normal. It's an honor, it's a privilege, and they want to do well, and they'll try really hard, and they'll have that rigor and discipline.
Yeah.
Whereas that's not going to work in the US because like, no, like I want my choice. Sure, it's an honor and privilege, and I want to represent my country, but we kind of, it's more organic and it's less,
Yep.
there's less rigor in there, that we govern them less, and we just kind of let, free market competition rise to the top. And sometimes that benefits us, right? Like
I
that
mean, we
one
have the most
who,
medals. Yeah, we have the
we
most
do have the
medals.
most medals, and and we have to remember too, China has how much, 3-4 times the population we do, so
Yeah.
their pool is much deeper to choose from. But I do think there's something to be said where they almost farm athletes where we grow athletes.
Yeah, I
Uh,
agree. That's what I was trying to say. You said it a lot better. Yeah, they like I heard North Korea, I heard that they were literally locking the families up just in case the athletes tried to get refugee status. I don't know if it's true, but I heard that the families were
like they'll
literally like
defect,
locked. What's that?
like they'll defect, and
Yeah, they don't want them to defect, so they lock the families up. I don't
I
know.
mean,
My wife was telling me that. I don't know how true it is. She saw it somewhere. So, I
I
mean,
wouldn't be
it's North
surprised.
Korea. We don't know the full truth of anything. They keep everything very, very locked down.
Yes, that's interesting. Yeah.
My favorite thing about the Olympics that I've seen so far, though, was the 100 meter. Like the way they all were so close to winning and they were all right there. And then
Hmm.
they had to do the photo finish. That was pretty sick.
Well, one
That was
thing I
pretty
thought was
sick.
interesting that I read that they changed is they have now speakers behind the blocks, and the speakers, when they say go, it's the starter pistol. They all go, but it actually makes it more fair because in some of these races where it's down to like 5 thousandths of a second, when you have the starter pistol, and I saw this because somebody did the math, but you have a starter pistol, the speed of sound, the farther you are away from the pistol,
Ooh, that's why lane
literally,
one. That's why no one
like
wants
lane
lane
one
one.
versus lane eight, right? The later you hear it, which means that you'll start slightly slower, which
That
means you
can
can actually
matter.
affect, when it comes down to
Yeah.
thousandths of a seconds and human reaction times and the speed of sound, it actually factors in. Whereas now with the speaker behind the block, they all hear it at the exact same time and they all start at the exact same time. Their reaction is now they remove the speed of sound factor because the sound is at the same location for everyone. I thought that was really cool.
I like that. That's cool. Huh.
Yeah.
I
Leave it
didn't
to
know
the
that
track
though.
guy to bring
Interesting.
that up.
Here's another Olympic like factor thing that I saw online that was really weird. You guys know the 100 meter back in, I think it was 1945, or like, I mean, long ass time ago, when they were running in like fucking socks and shit. The difference between the 100 meter, the world record then and then now, is
Oh, way
like, how
different.
much do you think, like with the styles that they run and the training and the dieting and all the crazy things that they come up with now,
Wait,
how much faster do you think that the in seconds, that
two
now is
two
faster than
seconds.
back then?
Half the
Like, how much
speed.
faster?
Nah,
Half the
I'd say
speed.
like 30.
Or half the time.
I'd
Dude,
say
no,
2 to.
dude, it's not even a second.
Is it what?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, no way. And the way that they
What?
were running was like hella weird too. Like, it's like almost like they didn't perfect the form of running until later on. Like, I mean, I'm sure
But it was
people
only a
from
one
Kenya.
second difference.
Dude, I know I couldn't believe it
I
when I
said
was
2 to
looking at it.
3. I thought it would be 2 to 3 seconds. I didn't know
Right,
it was
me
only
too.
one.
Me too. But I guess they were fast back then, but the things that we're doing now, it doesn't, I guess it didn't, it's not as much of an effect that we thought it was.
I thought about this. When is it? You know how records are always meant to be broken? When are we going to get to a point where a record just is never broken ever again? I was thinking about that the other day. Like, when are we going to evolve to such a point where, say, the mile record will never be
Right.
broken?
Like you can only humanly go
Yeah.
so fast.
Yeah, like I heard you can only throw the human body can only throw a baseball 108 miles an hour, and that's not even actually ever happened. Like the fastest this year was Aroldis Chapman just the other day threw a fastball 105.1 miles per hour. But they did like a study, and the study said if they did everything perfect, the human body could throw a fastball 108 miles an hour, but it's never actually happened. So I'm just wondering, like some of these records, eventually hundreds of years from now, they cannot be broken. It's going to be physically impossible to break a record
And that's
eventually.
why we have breakdancing to go for new records.
Yeah, right. They got to
Create
come
new
up with something
opportunities.
new.
I think what it'll come down to, because people partially watch the Olympics for entertainment, right? And for competition. And I think if it gets to the point where we have, hit that glass ceiling and we can't break through, it'll be boring. And people will just
Yeah.
say, go to something new. We don't care about this anymore. Right? Like, okay, go to something more entertaining or a new measure of athleticism that we haven't mastered and just go to that. I think that's what would happen if we like plateaued and every year, like, okay, yep, 4 people tied the 100-meter dash because we all know exactly what we're doing and it's perfect. I think they'll just say,
Yes.
okay, that's done. Put it in the history books. What do we want to do now?
Yeah, what the heck did those gray aliens do during the Olympics?
in 2028 they're gonna start doing esports
What?
for the Olympics.
Yeah, I heard about that. That.
Esports.
Yeah.
Luis will be in that one.
Yep, that'll be you, bro.
Look
No,
at that gaming room.
I'm trash.
That's why you
But
got to 2028 to practice, so get on it.
I'm good. But yeah, they're doing esports in 2028, new competition for the Olympics.
I mean, I
Wow.
guess
Well, they're doing
athletes
it in
in
high schools now
all
too.
forms.
I think we're starting to devolve instead of evolve.
It's gonna be like
Pretty soon
Wall-E.
it's gonna be TikTok dances.
Yep.
Yeah, seriously. We aren't evolving, we're
That's hella
devolving.
funny, dude.
But you guys gotta understand too that video games had took a turn like very popular when it came down to the pandemic. So a lot of competitions happened during the pandemic that it's making a lot of money, doing this competitions.
Yeah, those
So
streamers make a ton of money.
so
Good
it
night,
is
D-Rex.
it's a lot of
Peace, D-Rick.
Thanks for keeping us safe out there.
yeah.
Peace out, boys.
Take it easy. But
Yeah,
video games,
you're right. It did grow in popularity and
yeah.
virtual networking and yeah. I mean, we'll probably get to the point where it'll be like Ready Player One, right? Olympics will be online, and then it's everyone's in their little.
Man, we
virtual
went from fantasy football to this. Damn.
We're all over. We're all over. That's what happens when we just ramble.
No, but I think it's pretty cool. Like you guys gotta
It's fun.
understand, we get
It
to
is a good-
Ready Player
It's a good
One. That would be
topic,
cool.
actually. Yeah.
That book, by the way, the book is way better than the movie. The book is
What?
the book
Okay.
is way better than the movie.
Okay.
It's worth it.
I'll check it
Even
out.
if you audiobook it, it's still worth it.
All right. Anybody have anything else they want to say about the Olympics? And we'll be done with that one.
Hey, I'm
Anything?
gonna be watching the boxing match, Mexico against UC. I don't know what the UC. I don't know what to say that country's name,
pronounce
but
it. Can't pronounce it.
for the gold medal in
Uzbekistan?
boxing. Yes, there you go.
Oh, Uzbekistan. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be Mexico against them for the gold medal for boxing. So I'm gonna be watching that.
That Utah public education system coming through.
Hey man, not we're ranked number 10 in the United States, so
They need
That's
to recheck
right.
that collusion.
That's right.
so There's
All right.
Let's see, say it. Uzbekistan.
I'm not gonna say it, bro.
You can say it.
Alright.
Say it with us. Uzbekistan.
No,
He's talking to you like Kamala Harris talks to her followers, bro.
Oh man.
How
no,
fitting.
no.
All right. Anyways, I think we're about done here. Everybody, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Please bring your friends, your family. Make us popular, you know. We're a fun bunch. So get on it. Subscribe right now. Like the video. Thank you. Have a great night.
Good night.